Hi, and welcome to another conversation with ASTD. I'm Kristen Fife-Mills, Senior Manager of Communications here at ASTD, and joining me once again, Juana Llorens, the Community of Practice Manager for our Learning and Development Community of Practice.
Hi,
Thank
Kristen.
you. Hi.
Thank you.
You have a lot going on. I want to talk about a cool partnership that you are working to enrich, which is where the intersection of learning and development and project management occurs. So some work with PMI, Project Management Institute, for those of you who might not be familiar with the acronym, although I can't imagine who wouldn't be. Talk to me about where this idea came from and what really is the intersection. What does that look like? Why does it matter to our folks?
Well, honestly, this really originated with one of our experts, one of the experts on training project management that I work with, who's actually authored a couple of books. His name is Willis Thomas, and he's not only a CPLP, but he's also a project management professional. So he's certified in both training and project management. And so he and I had some conversations, and we ended up collaborating with Project Management Institute on, for starters, a couple of peer forums that are taking place. Actually, one just finished up in LA, and the other one's taking place in Paris. And obviously with project management, with PMI specifically, they rely a lot on training people in project management. So you have registered education providers, you have a community of practice of learning and development professionals that PMI works with quite heavily. So there's definitely a pretty big intersection between people who train and people who train people to become better or become certified in project management. So it's definitely a natural alliance.
I totally want to go to the thing in Paris, by the way, so
okay.
Feel free to volunteer for that. So there are some things besides these peer forum opportunities. I know some of them are in the works, and we're not going to be able to talk about everything, but give us a little bit of a hint of what your vision is for this partnership.
Well, for starters, I think that there is a desire for training professionals to become a little bit more well-versed in good project management practices. For example, instructional designers, a big part of what they do is really manage the creation of training projects. So how do you actually do that better? How do you sort of map out your stakeholders? So some of those really sort of common project management tools are sought after by training professionals. And so in the past and pretty much on a consistent basis, they're always looking to us to provide more, to kind of help them become better at that, via templates and tools. And so a big part of our vision for this alliance is to be able to better provide training professionals with some of those tools to get them situated and get them organized.
Sounds good. So we're talking about design, and I can't help but wish you a happy anniversary. Leaving ADDIE for Sam, 1 year, published in September. Cool blog post on Juana's community blog by Michael Allen, most visited page on the ASTD website in September, we're proud to say. But wait, there's more when it comes to ADDIE and Sam. Their adventure continues, and what does that look like?
Well, in the last video, you might remember I mentioned something about a possible field guide. Well, the field guide is still very much moving along, and so we hope for an early Q1 2014 release. So a lot more news will be available at Techknowledge, so everybody's going to Techknowledge. So you'll definitely be able to hear and hopefully see a lot more about that field guide coming up in the next few months.
Can you give us an idea of what is in the field guide? Like what is, I happen to know the answer to this already, so it's a leading question, but why would somebody want or need this if they already have ADDIE and SAM?
Well, this process is still very new for a lot of people, so even if people have actually purchased the book, maybe they've attended the workshop that we have this year, maybe they've attended some of the other workshops through Allen Interactions, there's still a lot that remains to be seen and learned. With ADDIE, obviously, there's a wealth of resources all over the place, but with SAM, it's still very fresh. And so you have the desire to have more of a hands-on experience and actually really start interacting with Savvy Start, with SAM 1, with SAM 2, and actually start plotting a course for getting your stakeholders involved, for example, for doing rapid prototyping and some of those iterative processes that support the SAM model. So this field guide is really going to help give designers that push that they need and some of that added information that they need to actually start putting SAM to work in their design projects.
And I think too that it's kind of like if you looked at the Leaving ADDIE for SAM book and you're like, not ready to go there, but you pick up the field guide, you're like, oh, it makes total sense, because there are tools and templates and things that actually help you get your arms around what it means to do that.
Exactly. Well said. I think it definitely sort of takes some of the edge off of this brand new process that still, for a lot of people, even if they've become comfortable with some agile processes in the past, might still be a little hesitant to get started.
So we are all about educating learning and development professionals, and to that end, Juana has brought some new essentials courses to you all. So tell us a little bit about those and what they do and why you created them.
Sure. Well,
you
really,
created.
Yes, just out of nowhere, just like that. Fairy dust. So there's actually four essentials that I want to talk about, but three in particular. One is still kind of in the works, but the first one, which actually just launched last week. The second module was just delivered this week, the Essentials course on brain-based learning. And we partner with Neuro Leadership Institute, David Rock, and actually Josh Davis is actually delivering the Essentials. And we haven't gotten the evaluations yet, but there's so much enthusiasm and so much good sort of early anecdotal feedback. We're really, really excited. And there will be one more offering of the Essentials in December. So head over to the education portal and check that one out.
ASTD.org/education.
And the second one is was actually came out of a book that we did this year. Many of you might have heard of it or may have picked it up. Needs Assessment for Organizational Success. So we partnered again with Roger Kaufman and Ingrid Guerra-Lopez on creating an essentials course that is on constructing a needs assessment for your organization. So it's basically kind of getting some hands-on experience right from the professionals and the father of needs assessment to actually put the four tiers of needs assessment to work in your organization.
Brain-based learning, needs assessment, number 3.
Survey design, the essentials of survey design.
Survey design, yeah.
That's something that's been definitely desired, asked for, pleaded for. How to design better surveys is a hot topic, and we know it's a pretty hot topic because the book that came out this year also by Patty Phillips, Survey Basics, did extremely well, and so kind of moving from that success, similar with the needs assessment book, we decided to actually create some education so that people can get interaction with an expert and start designing better surveys to draw out more powerful information for their organizations.
She's busy, and she's responsive. I think one of the beauties of ASTD's decision to move into the community of practice mode, in terms of looking at the content that's in the profession, how people are working, where they're working, what they're working with, is this ability to be responsive to the needs of the people that you're hearing from every day. So these essentials courses really kind of come out of the energy that the community is bringing to what it needs for professional development.
Absolutely. And people contact me all the time. I get on the phone with people probably about 10 times a week to discuss a new idea, to discuss new opportunities, to help people with problems. In fact, I get on the phone with people all the time just to talk about how to nurture a community of practice in their own organization. So it's just part of the job.
Who would have thunk when we came up with this idea, right?
Right.
So connect with Juana through the Learning and Development Community of Practice on ASTD.org. Check out these essentials courses. Keep an eye out for the Leaving ADDIE for SAM field guide. Figure out how to put this iterative, agile model to work for you. And thanks, as always, for sitting down and chatting with me for a few minutes.
Glad to do it. Taking
time away from a lot of people's needs and wants and stuff. But do check out Juana's Community of Practice. You'll find so much great content there. And you know now that she is open to hearing from you about ideas that you have for how to make the world work a little bit better.